Stop. You're playing for a 40-point video bonus, and here's your toss-up. Porn star sues over rear-end collision. This newspaper headline described an auto accident involving Terry Weigel, who also worked, though not in the same capacity, on what classic TV show starring Ed O'Neill and Katie Seagal?
Blue jumps, Rick.
Married with Children.
Married with Children is right. Time is out. This is 14:04. Okay. Watch the following clips and identify the comedians appearing.
I reached this point in my life, I don't really look in the mirror before I leave my apartment. I glance at it to make sure I'm not bleeding. You know what I mean? But I don't stare at the mirror. If I stare at the mirror, I get angry. Like I feel like I'm complaining about a bad call a ref just made. I'm like, come on!
However, Mr. Reynolds, you and I do have an incorrect relationship. You see, I'm fooling around with you.
By the way, her American name is Tammy. Tammy. You have boyfriend? No, I don't have a boyfriend. Honey, why you don't have? You look so pretty, like model, cheerleader, something pretty. You like long or short nails? Short nails, please, thanks. Oh, honey, that's why you don't have a boyfriend.
Yeah, I gotta write these jokes, so I sit at the hotel at night and think of something that's funny, and then I go get a pen and I write it down. Or, if the pen's too far away, I have to convince myself that what I thought of ain't funny.
Okay, time is back in. Your list of 4 different.
Don't have the first one.
That's Mike Cordelia.
That's what I get. Oh, all right. Foster Brooks.
Yes.
Third one, or it's or Johnson. Yeah, your first name. She's got a black first name. It's like Taikisha.
Angela Johnson. And the last, Mitch Hedberg, which you have 1 to 10 points. Okay, playing for a 40-point bonus. Here is your toss-up. Star Trek had the Enterprise. What was the sentient spaceship called on Farscape? That was the Moya. The Moya still playing for that bonus. Neil Armstrong was the first person to walk on the moon. Who was the last?
Blue jump, Steve.
Gene Cernan. Gene Cernan is correct. Okay, chumps. When Vincent calls Lance on his cell phone in Pulp Fiction, Lance is eating a bowl of Fruit Brute. Fruit Brute was a discontinued cereal and one of the 5 monster cereals from the old Monster cereal family. Name the other 4 cereals. Your answers, please.
Frankenberry.
That's correct.
Count Chocula.
Correct.
Wolfman.
No. The other 2 were Yummy Mummy and Blueberry, but you have 2 for 20 points. Okay, teams, you're playing for a 30-point bonus, and here is your toss-up. Gene Hackman retired from acting in 2004, providing the only reason to remember his last movie. He played a former U.S. president who returns to his hometown in Maine to run
Blue jumps, Dan.
Welcome to Mooseport.
That's right. Okay, chumps. I'll name a singer who died unexpectedly. You name his song that was on the Billboard charts at the time of his death. First, Johnny Horton.
Sink to Bismarck.
It's north to Alaska. Richie Valens.
No, that was
In the mic, please.
Wow.
That's correct. And finally, Jim Croce.
I'm involved.
Bad Leroy Brown, 1 for 10 points. Teams, you're playing for a 40-point bonus, and here is your audio toss-up for 1412. Identify the musical artist backing this recently broadcast TV and online commercial.
What makes a Lipton meal? Well, first you start with this.
Me, Deviants, Lori.
Nathaniel Rateliff and the Nice Ones.
That is right. All right, Deviants. Waxing poetic with Shakespeare, Hamlet has been played hundreds of times on the small and big screen for 10 points each. Give me the actor who played Hamlet. First, he played Hamlet in the 1933 movie.
Laurence Olivier.
John Barrymore. This English actor portrayed Hamlet in a more recent version in 1996.
Kenneth Branagh.
That's correct. This actor played Hamlet and directed this 1990 production of Joseph Pappas' New York Shakespeare Festival production. Your answer? It's Kevin Kline. And finally, in the Star Trek episode Conscience of the King, this actor plays an actor that plays the role of Hamlet. Your answer, please. That's Mark Grady Adams. Mark Grady Adams with 1 for 10 points. Teams are playing for a multimedia bonus, and here is your toss-up. She was born and raised in Houston, the daughter of a hairdresser and a Xerox salesman. Early in her career, she was in a group called Girls Time, managed by her father. Eventually, that group changed its name and settled into a trio.
Beyonce?
Beyonce is right. Time out.
Do a buzzer check on all.
Yeah. Katzman, Dessner, Crane, Rector, Albee, Lori, Bill. Okay. I'm back.
Excellent. Time is back in. Okay, chumps. Time is listen and identify the movie from the classic insult.
We're going to put some time back on the clock.
Go to the videotape.
It's 6:06. Yeah. 6:15. All right. Second here. Okay, we are ready for this one.
All right, time is up.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
You look like a blueberry.
Why don't you go back to your home on Whore Island?
I'm getting pretty sick of him calling my mom. I'm a bitch and a big fat bitch and a big bitch and a whole wide house. You big bitch and that one bitch and a bitch too wild. That boy, take it out.
He told me he loved me. Sweetie. How would I say that? Then they come.
All right. Time is back in. Name the 3 films.
First one's Anchorman.
That's correct.
Don't know.
South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And finally, that was Parenthood. Parenthood, you have 1 for 10 points. 10 points. Teams, you're playing for a 40-point bonus. Here's your toss-up. They said there would be no math. The value 66,600 is determined by adding the digits of the physical.
Blue Jumps, right?
I'm going to say that's the Wonderlic test.
5-point penalty, I'll repeat for deviance. They said there would be no math. The value of 66,600 is determined by adding the digits to the physical address of the White House to the digits present in the title of a 1940 hit by Glenn Miller. But what state name is mentioned in both cases?
Deviant Florida.
Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania is right. Okay, Deviants. Through the years, the Golden Globes have honored future Hollywood by naming a Miss Golden Globe to help hand out the awards. For 10 points each, name the famous parent or parents of the following. Luann Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson?
That's correct. Melanie Griffith. That's right. Dakota Johnson.
Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith.
That's right. And finally, for 10 more points, of course, in this day and age of political correctness, in 2018, they changed the title of Miss Golden Globe to what more generic name? That. Golden Globe and Ambassador, but you have 3 of those for 30 points. 30 points. Teams, you're playing for a 30-point bonus, and here is your toss-up. My nickname means delicate and sensitive in Arabic. I released my first single, Wrath of My Madness, in 1988. In 1991, I made my big screen debut in Spike Lee's Jungle Fever. In 2002, I played Mama Morton in the film Chicago.
Blue Chunk Steve.
Queen Latifah is correct. Okay, chumps. When one gets old and senile, one makes bad decisions, which is about the only way to explain how these Oscar winners got in these bad movies. I'll give you a recent bad movie with a less than 20% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. You name any of the Oscar-winning actors who appeared in it. First, from 2010, Valentine's Day.
Robert De Niro.
No, you can name Kathy Bates, Jamie Foxx, Anne Hathaway, Shirley MacLaine, and Julia Roberts. Movie 43 from 2013. Your answer?
Roberto Benigni.
No, Kate Winslet, Emma Stone, Halle Berry, or Terrence Howard. And finally, The Big Wedding from 2013. No, that featured Robert De Niro, Diane Keaton, Susan Sarandon, and Robin Williams, but no points, no points. Teams, you're playing for a 30-point bonus, and here is your toss-up. Folks trace the rise of NASCAR as a national sport to the 1979 Daytona 500. Televised for the first time live nationally, the race ended with 2 racers colliding on the final lap and then brawling in the infield. Name the 2 drivers who duked it out before the viewers.
Blue Charts, Rick.
I'll say Richard Petty.
No, can you take it, Deviants?
Deviants, Albie.
Richard Petty and Kelly Yarborough.
No, it was Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison. Donnie Allison is still playing for that 30-point bonus. Making its debut in 1939, the first Marvel comic book featured this superhero on the cover, an android created by Phineas T. Horton. That was the Human Torch, still playing for that 30-point bonus. Complete this analogy. John Hamm is to Kristen Wiig in Bridesmaids as Justin Timberlake is to what actress in Friends with Benefits?
Deviantsville.
Anne Hathaway.
No, can you take it, chumps? That, Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis still playing for that 30-point bonus. One type of these is the Royal Nova Scotia. Another is sometimes called a tramp stamp. Another would be a
Blue Charts, Steve.
tattoo on the back. Tattoo is what I'm looking for. Okay, chumps, answer these questions about celebrities urinating in public. First, this musician peed in the Alamo in 1982 and was later banned from San Antonio for life.
Jim Morrison.
That's Ozzy Osbourne. He played for the Denver Nuggets from 2013 to 2015. He was arrested for taking a leak outside of Barnes & Noble in 2011.
Matt Prater.
That's Nate Robinson. And finally, which prince was caught pulling out the royal dongle during a polo match?
Prince Harry.
Prince William. No points. Teams, you're playing for a 40-point bonus, and here's your toss-up. In what 1985 movie does the ever-confident Chevy Chase ask a woman who has just gotten out of the shower if he can borrow her towel because his car just hit a water buffalo?
Chunks, Mike.
Fletch. Fletch is correct. Here's your bonus question. In 1965, a sports oddity occurred in the AFL draft, and of the first 28 picks, 3 quarterbacks were chosen, all by the same team. For 10 points, name the team.
Okay, they were the Houston Oilers, the New York Jets, and
I was looking for the New York Jets, and you can have 10 points for that. The question went on to name the 3 quarterbacks.